Hello, this is Tailix, and welcome to Tailix Trials 4 of Sword of the Stars. Now, in the last video, we didn't really get up too much. We got a few techs done. We got into the cruiser stage. We're now researching our engines. So, where were we? Another planet to be colonised. It's always a good start, getting a new planet. Oh yes, now I remember. We got the Zul homeworld here. Obviously the homeworlds are a bit different to the normal worlds, as you probably have already noticed by the star. This is where your main production is. It's also the only place that starts off with a 5,000 resource count. Over 200 on the infrastructure, and generally has the most population out of all your worlds. It's also the only size 10s you will find. The next size down would be at most 9 or, well, generally 7s are most of the time go-to colonies to get. So I should really start sending some dudes that way. As you can see, this is all changed now. I've got a cruiser moving in for more command and control. These can control around about 6 to 8 battleships or cruiser-sized vessels. And how many turns for the engines? 5 turns, so might as well spend a turn getting a few more battleships. Well, I can get a few. There we go, 10 in the next 2 turns. And I'm going to, albeit it's quite a distance, 28, 23. I really want this planet, but getting to it is a little bit of a problem at the moment, as I can't really build any colonizers from these areas yet. I could try. 24, it's not too bad. Can you actually get us the small colonizer out? 3 turns. 2 turns. And what about a tanker? 3 turns, right.
We shall be steel and fire, Elder.
Right, so I better come back to that system in 3 turns to send him on his long journey, although it's 8 turns now.
System updates. Small fleet approaching, Elder.
As you can see straight away, those scanners in this fleet here have detected this fleet way before I was meant to find it. 3 turns away, this little system here will be attacked with my scout on it. And again, I can see this ship here, 5 ships, probably a colonization fleet going to that one. We're going to check it out.
We move between seconds.
8 turns, that keeps saying 8 turns with all the colonization and stuff going on. It just keeps knocking back out the research budget. Don't know what I'm doing there, right. Light platform.
We shall be steel and fire, Elder.
Now, this is a home world. I'm going to try a peaceful option. Not going to happen because it's a Zul world. Yep, instantly lost that ship. Right, if I rejig this, move that away, don't need that one. Saying that though, having the destroyer in this fleet, any other, if let's say I was to lose this command vessel, if I had a destroyer in the fleet, he would then take command to the maximum of his points on the remaining fleet. Obviously you've got a command cost and quota here, which is essential. Obviously the bigger the vessel, in this case it's the cruiser size command and control gives me a quota of 36, where the destroyer one only gives me a quota of 20. Obviously each cruiser takes 6 points. So now obviously we got that, I have to build one of my other designs, which is obviously a point defence vessel for the front. Now my cruiser size point defence vessels are a little bit different. Obviously you've got these back mounts as well, which obviously gives them great coverage from missiles. So if I put lasers point defence there, provides great coverage from missiles, drones, anything above and below the vessels. Makes it great. And also this one up here I changed to Gauss mount for type coverage. I usually keep the layout here with the missile out back. At the front here, normally I'd probably put an attacking mount, but again I am switching that for Gauss coverage. Now Gauss is mainly up front, but still we've got that, so if they do pass by I can still do some damage. Obviously because the ship lacks any heavy mounts, I rely on this torpedo bay, which I only have disruptors at the moment, which isn't too great, but it stops them firing. It's more of a stun weapon. I generally don't use the stun weapons unless I'm on a destroyer mount, but for now it will do. And again on these front mounts I've got 2 heavy mounts. As you can see now, it's already assigned the strongest, which is the Stormer. I'm going to leave it at that for now until I get a better cannon, which hopefully will be happening soon. Right, so let's get 2 of them out. Even though I'll be upgrading the engines any minute now, let's get 2 of them out for this fleet.
System updates.
Right, as you can already see, when I double click here it sorts them out in alphabetical order. As you can see, all the destroyers have been pushed to the front. Mainly for scouting purposes, I usually have destroyers. So even if I wasn't organising the fleets like this, they would still come out first, which is what I want really, because if you're making a mistake, the best way to get out of it is to pull back a bit.
We hear your voice coming to Newberry.
Right. Another scouter fight. Let's bring it.
We hear you. Attack and kill.
Again, I assign the front as its attack target.
Command received. Yes, Elder. We will do what we must. Yes, Elder.
Why did he do that? Why did he suicide into me? Again, it's another double kill.
System updates.
Right, we have found that now.
We hear your voice coming to Newberry.
Getting a lot of double kills. I know they're very old designs and all, but I'm going to have to start building some more scouts in a minute just to keep an eye on the planets.
System updates.
Now we're just waiting patiently on that fusion engine. You're 2 turns away. Let's get some colonizers on you.
We begin construction now. System updates.
Yep, they colonized that planet. So,
the steel singers are ready to
let's
build.
get some more. Leave it for the minute. That planet, if I remember correctly, doesn't build too well for some unknown reason.
System updates. The path twisted and turned, but finally we have arrived.
Oh, it's on time. I never expect fusion to be on time. I always expected to go over budget. Now, as you can see right here, it's unlocked the next tier of engine, but that's going to take a lot of time to research. 30 turns. And obviously now we've unlocked fusion torpedo and fusion cannon, which is obviously better than my plasma cannon. And with that also it activates stuff like Wild Weasel, which is a system for the destroyer mount, which basically makes missiles go anywhere else except for your fleet, which is a pretty good guard. And also it unlocks new tier of construction, which I'll be focusing on in a minute. And obviously, this is the one I wanted, improved stutter warp, which is a better engine. Now I have unlocked plasma focusing, which again it says 1 turn, but probably going to be over budget,
All we need, Elder.
which boosts the distance again.
System
Like I said,
updates.
always over budget that one.
Small fleet approaching, Elder.
Here we go. Wow, those deep scanners are really working.
System updates.
Right, so it's plasma focusing done.
The path twisted and turned.
Yeah, I know.
Finally we have arrived.
Right, and improved stutter warp. Now, as you can see there, it says 2 turns, which is great. But funds have dropped down to 1.4, sorry, mil. Now, in the turn before that, I had only 800,000, which is obviously negative to my morale. With once you get civilization appearing on your planet, there's obviously going to be civilians. Your Imperials you don't have to pay for, but the civilians you have to keep happy. And as you can see here, this is the Lear morale events for this planet, which is obviously my homeworld I'm using for example. Once you have more than 1 million in savings, you get a +1 every turn to your morale. But obviously I'm getting a minus because I'm restricting the limit of the population on that planet. If you go over half the planet usage, it starts draining the natural resources, which is this 5,000 here. And once all they're gone, once all the resources are gone, the planet is not able to build anything. All it can do is trade. Right, do a quick check for colonizers. They're all at their destinations. And you've already been taken by the Hiver, sorry. So if I put that back in with that lot, and you can't go anywhere. Fair enough. So at Griffin, let's get this guy on its way.
Turning into the black.
And if I go, and get some refineries. Oh wait, redesign. With the refinery here, I'm just doing this as a temporary thing. Obviously I'm upgrading the fusion engine with plasma focusing. Again, making all the mounts for cheap.
We shall remember this design for the future.
And now if I go and build that, they have fusion engines, which are much better. And cheaper to build, I found out. In construction costs, but not in price of the vessel itself.
We begin construction now.
So with a few more refineries, I'm going to take them to go and pick up these fission ships down here that are stuck, and then take them back home or to a system where they need the colonizers. Obviously I do generally wait for the improve stutter warp, but if I have to settle for fusion, I will. I'm going to call for peace on this one. Not going to happen, but he wouldn't have had enough fuel to make it home anyways. And strangely enough, they did fight and he won. I don't know how that worked. He's got no engine section, but I don't know how that just happened, but it did. I ain't complaining. Now I'm combining these two fleets together before I move on to that world down here. So in 6 turns we'll be bringing the fight to them.
Coming to Newberry.
And hopefully in 1 turn we'll have our improved engines. But again, just like the plasma focusing, or maybe not in this case, in most of my games they generally do go over budget on the improved stutter warp. They're being good scientists today, which makes a change. Now, 3 turns for fusion cannon or emitter. Now obviously I rely on my battleship's design, so I am going to actually put the emitter over the fusion cannon and try and get that. So 3 turns for that one.
We have been given all we need, Elder.
Right, with these refineries, as you can see already, here you got 9 on the distance and speed it can travel, and with fusion it's up to 13, which is a big boost of 4 light years of movement.
System updates.
We got another one.
There are strange forces in the Black Sea. Enemies.
Not good. Eight ships, 4 turns. Can I pull him back?
We have received coordinates.
I want the planet, not the fleet. There we go. Okay, let's keep going. We got Azul coming up there now.
System update.
One turn.
Yes, Elder. We move as you command. We move between seconds.
Let's get them over there. In 3 turns. Right, let's keep going. Another scouter fight between a distance fighter and a darkness. Basically, scout v scout again.
Yes, Elder. Yes, Elder. We will do what we must.
I'm going to try and win this one. Most of the time when I can get a ship destroyed, it usually costs the ship as a scout.
Yes, Elder. Keep close. Yes, Elder. Keep close. We hear and agree. Ships are
Oh, it lived! Ah!
System update. Vessels coming here, Elder.
Oh, what do we have there? 1 ship, 4 turns to Griffin. Right, 4 turns. It's fair enough. Let's redesign my battleship to be much better and faster. Now obviously we've got the improved stutter warp, and I'm just going to switch the back mounts, which I now gain an extra heavy mount, medium mount, my apologies, to there, which again I just changed because it's out the back, changed to the standard missile payload, just to give it some missiles to fire anything that's at the front of the ship.
We shall remember this design for the future.
So if I build 2 of them on here, I generally use that cruiser design to get me through most of the mid-game technologies. Another scout v scout. I'm going to try peaceful approach, probably not going to work. No, he won. Again, now I've got a emitter.
Twisted and turned, but finally we have arrived.
I'm now going to focus on getting these fusion torpedoes.
In order and ready to study this problem.
And here we go. Oh, it was only a small planet after all. With only 4 small defense platforms. Still, I'm going to show you how my fleets generally fall in line. This one's a little bit slower to load. Okay, so now the start of fight will happen. The ships will appear in the layout that I set them to appear in combat through the command menu. Just give it a little second to load. So as you can see here, the point defense vessels here is at the front, with a line of shields and a line of basic armoured destroyers.
Yes, we hear you.
Obviously, even though the planet hasn't really got a fleet guarding it, just a load of light defense platforms, the planet itself will still fire missiles at your fleet. Now the way I can see this is by activating the sensor menu, which is this one, which is quite more of an advanced way of controlling your ships. Again, you'll see me flip in and out of that with the spacebar. As soon as I hear the first shot, I tell them to close in for the planet. Now again, if I go into this view here, you can see these little red dots as missiles coming from the planet and its orbital defense platforms. That's a planet missile. Just bouncing off the shields, it's alright. You see, there's their light defense platform right there. I'm actually going to ignore that. They probably will take a shot at it if they have the chance, but for now it's just being ignored. Now firing down onto the surface, trying to take out as many people on their planet. As you can hear the red flag firing away. We've got missiles coming from the orbital platforms on each side and the planet coming from above and below the vessel. Again, doing types of damage works on the planet as well. The heavier Gauss gun-based and cannon-based weaponry will do damage to infrastructure, whereas energy-based weapons will do damage to its colonizable terraforming ability. So obviously the more energy you throw at it, the harder it is to terraform if you were to capture it for yourself. I just took out that battery just to be safe. There is only 4 of them on this planet. Welcome to the fight. The command vessel, for most reasons, generally is a slower moving vessel than the rest of the fleet. Again, these are the ships you should really be guarding, so I want this guy to... Whereas this button control panel here will control the fleet, this will control the individual ship. I'm telling him to move back a bit behind the armour. Now we've actually gone past 5 minutes of fighting, and obviously it takes us back here. I'm going to have to send some refineries out to... Oh no, I can get it back there. We're causing a bit of trouble on this system. Obviously, as you can see here, we can now see the stats of the Moragai race that are on it. We can see the stats obviously up here by going through. We killed 92 million Imperialists in that bombardment, which which isn't bad for a destroyer squad. As you could tell, I've knocked it off track of the terraforming rate for my planet, for my race, because obviously each race has a different terraform acceptance. Obviously my water worlds may not appeal to the bugs. And so on. Right, so we've got 2 turns there, and we're gonna go through another round of bombardment on that one. There are quicker ways, obviously with the bigger ships, the quicker it takes. I generally find that the game works around that 5-minute counter for battle. They did build another satellite. I'm actually going to skip this one by letting the AI do the battle, using the default settings that I have set the fleet to do. And now it's just a matter of time. Right, and now we shall say hello to the zoo. Again, I've now got 3, obviously that scout ship made it to Griffin. I'm going to skip that because I actually have 2 cruisers and full 10 light defense platforms on a planet with a full Imperial count. Again, I don't really need to see that combat because it'll just be the same as the other one, just bombing a planet. But with this one, it'll be fleet on fleet cruiser combat. And here we go. Again, you can see my fleet in the line that I gave them. Again, this is just cruiser v cruiser. And some destroyers. Fair enough. See, the Zul have a crazy designs on their vessels. I could pretty much handle most things from this fleet so far. I am waiting for those cruisers though, because obviously the cruisers will be tougher. They're just sending out their destroyers at the moment. Again, something that I do frequently. Well, I thought there was cruisers. I must be mistaken. It's either that or they don't have a command vessel, so they'll be coming out next. That's probably why this Ripcore ship has turned around. Yeah, this is a Zul Pacific ship. You have to be Zul to get it. It's basically the part of their main mode of transport where it sets up a highway. These do have a lot of health. I thought there was going to be cruisers, but I must have been mistaken. Yep. I'm sorry about that. I thought it was cruiser on cruiser.
System update. The path twisted and turned, but finally we have arrived. Turning into the black.
Right, we now have fusion torpedo. So now we want fusion cannon to upgrade the rest of my fleet.
All facilities in order and ready to study this problem.
Right, well, after a little bit of a deflation there of me getting the numbers wrong, I'm going to end this video. So remember, if you like this one, hit that like button. It only takes 2 seconds. And if you want to join the cavalry, hit that subscribe button. This is Tailix, out.